Hello and welcome to episode 167 of Heroes of Handheld. This is the internet's premium podcast dedicated to all things handheld gaming, whether that be your PlayStation Portable, your Nintendo 2DS, or your Nokia N-Gage phone. My name is Chris, and today I'm joined by my friend Colin Byrne. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing on this very wet, very miserable Monday evening?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I'm having a really great time. I definitely didn't get really whizzed on by the rain earlier.
Yeah.
I'm okay, thank you. We were just talking off air about which is the most attractive Simpsons character.
This is a tough one because I would maybe say, I can't remember her name because I'm terrible with names, as you know. The country singer that fancies Homer. Like early on.
Oh yeah.
She was quite hot.
Is it Lorna something?
Something like that.
Laurel.
I will Google.
Lorelai.
Once you tell me who you think is attractive, I will find out.
I think Apu's wife is probably the most attractive.
It's Lurleen.
Lurleen. Who would it be?
What about the one who works with him with the ginger locks, and he has to go like away with her to Vegas?
Oh, Mandy.
Yeah,
but you're just picking girls that Homer's. I was thinking more of like characters that are in almost every episode.
Bumblebee Man.
Because else you just pick the one-offs that are in the We Put the Spring in Springfield episode.
Oh yeah.
You know when they go to the strip club that's been running in I don't know.
We put the boing in Springfield.
I bet there's someone really obvious that we're missing.
Apu? No, Apu's wife, whatever her name is.
Apu's wife is arguably the most, but I think that's because most of the other like wives and kind of adult women in that show are kind of oddly old. Apart from Marge. I mean, Marge is obviously yes, but like Marge, it's not okay to say that, you know.
Marge with her hair down is. Yes.
Oh yeah, when they do young Homer and Marge. Yeah, thank you very much. That'll do me. That'll take me all the way to the edge. Thank you.
Brilliant. And your girlfriend is away, so enjoy that.
So anyway. I get to watch. I get to watch every episode I please.
Brilliant. So a few things I want to talk about, Chris. So, where do we start? So I think, you know what, I'm going to kick things off with very exciting news. We are doing a giveaway, everybody. Woo! See, are you excited, Chris? Brilliant.
Woo-hoo!
So, as you know, brilliant. You just a minute ago, when I was in secondary school, you know, like there were these sound clips that were passed around from phone to phone via Bluetooth.
Yeah, but for your text phone.
Yes, and there was one that was like Mickey Mouse going like, "Oh boy," and you literally sound like that. Our podcast will now get shut down by the Disney Corporation because of that, and they will stamp us into the dirt. So thanks, Chris. Thanks a lot. Anyway, so exciting. We're doing a giveaway, and now because we're not used to this sort of thing, we don't really give things away. We don't really do things like this. So me and Chris have been we booked out a meeting room in our in the capital city of London.
Yeah, you had to go on that course as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it was difficult. It was grueling. The obstacle course was probably the low point of that. That was quite bad. Having to eat bison liver was a bit depressing as well. But apart from that, I learned a lot from this. And from our meeting, we did pie charts, we did brainstorm. I don't think you can call them brainstorms anymore, can you? I don't think that's the politically correct.
Is it thought shower?
Oh my god, that sounds terrible. Probably though. Anyway, so we've come up with some ideas. Well, I don't know. It's not even an idea. Basically, we're giving this away. So if you want to win a copy of Neon Chrome, which is a game from 10 Tons, you know, we're big fans of 10 Tons on this podcast. So if you don't know what this game is, it came out a couple of months ago, actually. It's a top-down cyberpunk shooter with roguelike elements. It takes place inside an arcology, a massive sci-fi mega structure. And I'm looking at some videos. It looks absolutely brilliant. The art style looks awesome as well. Just looks a lot of fun. It looks very similar to Hotline Miami, actually, but less bloody and less brutal, I would say. This looks a lot of fun. So we're giving this game away for free. One condition is this code is for European accounts. So
we should say as well, it's for PS Vita.
Yeah, that would probably help with it. This is a PS Vita code. But surely people would assume that, Chris, because this is a podcast about handheld gaming. So come on, keep up.
Yeah, but they might think it's 3DS or the Nokia N-Gage.
Or the, the BlackBerry B15 will never. Do you remember that time in our teenage years when everyone had a BlackBerry? Do you remember this? Do you
Oh,
remember?
BBM me, mate. BBM me. What's your
Oh,
BBM pin?
BlackBerry Messenger. Oh my god, that was what were we thinking? That was
That really, I tell you what is really dated by that is the London riots in 2011 were all organised over BBM. Do you remember?
no way. Really? I didn't
Yeah, they were.
realize that.
But BBM was kind of before its time because it's basically WhatsApp,
Yeah,
just
it's
with a
basically
slightly.
it's what iMessage
It
became.
was kind of clunkier the way that you. Yeah, it was kind of. I think because you didn't add people by their phone number, you had to use a pin or something, didn't you?
Yeah, that was it. And
I
then
think
like
that
when
was.
yeah, when the BlackBerry was locked as well, like it would flash colors. There was like a little light at the top which showed you had a text message when it was all locked. Oh, good times, good times. Anyway, so what are we talking about BlackBerries? I don't know. Anyway, so if you are a PS Vita owner and you reside in Europe and you would like to play Neon Chrome from 10 tons, all you need to do is email us. Our email address is heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. Drop us an email, and all you need to do. This links on to what we're going to talk about next. All you need to do is send us your favorite Mass Effect quote. And if you don't know any Mass Effect quotes from the game series Mass Effect, then just Google it, people. But I will say you're more likely to win if you send us a message that says, "I've had enough of your disingenuous assertions."
Stop it! You love that
My
bit.
fave. My
What we
fave
should
line.
say, Colin,
Yeah.
because you know me, I'm in official mode now. Now that we're running a competition, should we say the deadline is next Wednesday?
Yeah, the deadline, let's say midnight next Tuesday, shall we? Because that gives us
Okay, so
it gets the
that is
data.
the
look through.
midnight late Tuesday rather than early Tuesday. So get your things in by 23:59:59 on Tuesday, the 7th of February. Heroes of Handheld at gmail.com. You've got to be on a PlayStation Vita in Europe, else there's no point you having it. And yeah, favorite Mass Effect quote. And who's judging? Is it you or me?
Both of us. We have access.
Oh boy.
Go get the judge. So you just tell us your favorite quote, and if you can somehow get the name of our podcast into that quote, so you don't have to just send. You can just send the normal quotes. That's fine, but you can edit the quote in any way you see fit. So you can make it funnier. You can add Heroes of Handheld into it. However you want to play it, just send it over heroesofhandheld@gmail.com, and you could be you'd be in a chance of winning Neon Chrome for PS Vita. So that's all very exciting. Right, so let's move on to the first thing. So Mass Effect. Late last week, we got a new cinematic trailer for Mass Effect Andromeda, which is coming out the 21st of March. And as you know, I'm very excited for this game, but I loved this trailer. It was only 1 minute 20 long. We didn't see any gameplay footage. We just obviously saw cinematic and cutscenes, I imagine, and things like that. But we got a better idea of what your squad, the sort of characters you're going to be meeting through the game. You get a look at the villain as well, which is very interesting. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but the villain looks really cool. And also the highlight is potentially that there is going to be a Krogan in your team, which is
boy.
which everyone is excited for. But it looks really cool. Definitely go check it out. Just all you need to do is search Mass Effect Andromeda trailer, and it'll come up because it came out a few days ago, and it's got loads of views already. So it's got me even more excited, and I was excited anyway. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, definitely check that one out. So next, I want to talk a little bit. Yes. Sorry, I'm going off on one.
You just sort of, I mean, there are two of us in this relationship, Colin.
Not anymore, there isn't, because I want to talk about Pokemon Duel. How are you finding Pokemon Duel?
No, I want to talk about Mass Effect first.
Oh,
why should people be excited about there being a Krogan in your shift?
Have you ever played Mass Effect?
Yes, I have, but not everyone who listens has.
Krogans are these big. How would you describe the way they look? They're just like big, brutish.
They're kind of like thumbs.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, their helmets are shaped like thumbs. From the back, they would look like a thumb. That's quite a good description there. So they have been part of your team since the very first Mass Effect. There's been a couple of different Krogans that have appeared. They're known for being ruthless warriors. They've got something called the Genophage that was released to stop them because basically when they breed like rabbits, Krogans. So they made something called the Genophage, which stops them from producing as much, and there's a big old argument about it, and it's a big point in the plot. Anyway, Krogans are big warriors and they're very formidable as well. You definitely want one on your team because you don't want to be against a Krogan because you're going to get crushed by them, basically. So that's why Krogans are cool. And Krogans from the original trilogy were very popular. Rex, the one of the first crew members you meet, actually in the first Mass Effect game, was a fan favorite. And another type
Grunt
of
was the other one, wasn't he? Grunt was
Grunt.
the one in 2 and 3.
That was the one they brought in just in case you made a decision in the first one. I should say.
Well, also, if you played on PlayStation when the first one wasn't out or hadn't been remastered or whatever, then you had to have Grunt because it defaulted to a decision which meant that he would be the Krogan on your team. I think. Anyway.
Yeah, that's probably right. Probably right. But no, it's cool seeing the team. A lot of races that we recognize: Solarians, the Asari. What's the Garrus? What's Garrus's What's Garrus? What is he? A Turian.
Turian?
There's a female Turian, people. There's a female Turian. This is just the best news, in my opinion. So gonna bang the female Turian. We'll bang, okay. But you really like the Asari, don't you? You're a big fan. You were a fan of the Asari from the first one, weren't you? No, you're a Jack fan.
I liked the Asari. I liked the Asari. I liked. Was it Samara? The one that was like a police officer.
Yeah, and then there's Liara.
And that was a really cool mission where you had to, spoilers Mass Effect 2, we had to work with her to track down her children that were mad.
Yeah.
That was really good. So I liked them. I like all of them really. I'm actually now not watching any trailers and I'm going to wait for reviews to come out because if the game reviews well, then I'll want to play it without kind of knowing as little as possible.
I'll be very surprised. Doesn't review well.
Well, you say that, but remember the last thing we had was Mass Effect 3, and 3 was good in parts, but it wasn't as good as 2, which was one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, the second one was obviously the best one in the last trilogy, but
I think the second one might be. It's definitely in my top 5 games of last gen. The second Mass Effect is just so beautiful.
All 3 of those games are in my top 10, I would say. The first, second, and third, they're all have their positives. They all have their special place in my heart. The third one, though the ending wasn't to a lot of people's taste, it was still a good game, a great game, actually.
When it comes to Mass Effect, I would argue that first the worst, second the best, third the one with the hairy chest.
Yeah, but that's unfair because you never played the first one originally when it came out, did you? You weren't part of it. Yeah,
no, I know. I was just doing the childhood rhyme.
Yeah. Good one. You're the what was I saying? Sony fanboy who weren't part of the Mass Effect. I wonder if when they released Mass Effect on Xbox all those years ago, I wonder if they actually thought it'd actually get as big as it did. You know, because it's huge, absolutely huge, which obviously led them to releasing the other games on other platforms. So it would have been interesting if they just kept it on Xbox. Anyway, we should move on. So Mass Effect is cool and it's coming soon. So Pokemon Duel, you told me to download this last week and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm a bit confused because I'm sure I'm doing something wrong because I'm winning a lot of matches and I don't know whether I'm doing it right because... Well, I don't know. Do you want to explain what Pokemon Duel is, Chris, before I get any
Colin,
deeper? Yeah.
I'm going to struggle explaining Pokemon Duel because I've actually not been playing it this week.
What?
I know, I'm terrible.
That's weird.
Only because I'm now one Dratini away from getting a Dragonite, finally, on Pokemon Go. So any of my Pokemon time, like any time on my phone playing games, I've just been putting into that. So I haven't actually played it. I'm sorry, I've let you down.
Disgusting.
Cut me open and I will bleed for you.
Honestly, Pokemon Duel is a lot of fun. If anyone who doesn't know, it's a strategic board game style Pokemon game, and it's really quite deep and layered as well. There's lots to it. It takes a long time to load when you open it up. Similar to Super Mario Go, you have to be connected to the internet for it to work. It takes quite a while to load up when you open it for the first time. You have to download data, and it does, similar to what Mario Run does, when it does the little thing, downloading data or whatever. It does that before you can even start the game. But when you get in, playing games are fun. It's a very simple premise, actually. You have a deck of Pokemons, they look like amiibos in the game, like these little, not the actual Pokemon, but just like little figurines of them. and they have their own levels and stuff. And you go along the board, and the aim of the game is to get and place one of your Pokemon in the other player's goal area. So there's one square on the board, which is the player's goal, basically. And you've got to just get one of your Pokemon on the other person's goal. Once you've done that, you win the game straight away. Games can either last a long time, or depending on how strategic the players are, or can be over really quick. Like if you have a player who just puts his characters out and then he doesn't guard his goal, like you can just move your Pokemon out, and in the second go, you can win. You have to be really careful about where your first move is really, really important, and it's actually, I think you'll really like it, Chris. It's really
you've sold me on it, because I didn't realize that's what it was about, and now I really want to try it.
Yeah, it wasn't what I thought either. It's like completely different to other Pokemon games that I've played in the past, and it's a fun strategy game, and you play with people online. Sometimes the connections can drop out, but you'd expect that with a game that's all online. You can customize your deck. You get loads of gems and stars and things by logging in and doing missions. It really is a lot of fun. It looks really nice as well. It's a very pretty art style. So definitely would recommend it. It's Pokemon Duel, and it's free. And obviously you can pay to get new bonuses and power-ups and Pokemons and things. But it even tells you when you load up the game on a little screen when it's loading that you can actually complete the game without paying any money. It even says that to you. It says you don't need to spend any money on this game, but in-app purchases are an option, which I think was a nice touch, really. Like rather than saying, "Oh, you must get this booster pack to win," but it tells you you don't even need to, which is really nice. In terms of so yeah, Chris, that's your homework for this week. You got extra longer as well, because we're doing this on Monday. You have to play Pokemon Duel, and I want to hear your thoughts now. We should play, because you can add people and you can play battles against friends and things. So yeah, you should, and then we can play.
I promise I'll give it a go.
Because you're better, and you're just normally better at these things than I am. So you'll probably play it, and like with Minecraft and Killzone, we'll probably play one game and you'll completely batter me straight away, which is not normally happens.
Did I beat you at Killzone? I don't remember.
I think we were quite equal on Killzone, but on Minecraft, that was just quite something, really. That was quite something. Where basically, we had our own world in Minecraft on PlayStation Vita, and then we explored. I kept dying. Chris took all my stuff, and that was the end of that. So that was really great. So yeah, Pokemon Duel.
Yeah, you were really bad at it. Like really bad.
Yeah, it was quite shocking, really. And I just got fed up in the end and just ran into like a creeper and killed myself. So that's where I was. But Pokemon Go. So I'm glad. So will that be your last Pokemon, Chris? On Pokemon
No, I've
Go?
got one more after that, which is a Chansey, which is very frustrating.
They're really hard to find. I've only ever seen one Shadow when I played it, and yeah, you don't see it. They're quite a rare Pokemon, aren't they? They're not very common.
So have you caught it, or did you not catch the Shadow?
No, I didn't catch it, but I saw it when it was near in my local town, but I didn't go out and hunt it. I've really annoyed yesterday. I forgot to get a Pokestop because I don't have any data on my phone, really, so I have to use Wi-Fi, and I had the 6-day streak going on the Pokestops, and I completely forgot yesterday to get one, so I missed out on the 2000 XP and all that. It was extra Pokeballs, which really pissed me off. So
no.
that was annoying, but yeah. So I'm still playing it, still working towards my Executor, and leveling up my Nidoqueen and Nidoking as much as I can. So yeah,
if people are giving up on Pokemon Go, this maybe won't be that interesting. But I finally we kind of talked about it a couple of weeks ago, is that I finally got hold of a Lapras, and now I've got 3 now. I hatched one with almost perfect stats, and they're so good. Like, I didn't realize. I knew they were good because they were in the gyms, but I didn't realize how much potential attack there was. But really, they're a game changer because they're also very good against Dragonite. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm kind of hoping there's not going to be a Gen 2 until I can get like my last one, So yeah, we shall see. But it's yeah, it's a good game, isn't it?
You know what they say about Laprases? You wait for one to come along,
yeah,
and then 3 come along.
That is exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Well, I think that's how they say it. Right, so let's move on. What else are we talking about? I think, are we done? Is that all? Oh no, you got something in your before news notes. What's this about Fire Emblem?
Well, I only put this here because it's kind of it's an iOS and Android game. Fire Emblem Heroes, which we talked about briefly last week, is coming out on February the 2nd. So I just thought we should mention that because by the time a lot of people will be listening to this, it will be out, which is very exciting. So if you kind of have been following the news on this, Fire Emblem obviously very popular franchise. We talked about last week. There was a thing about choosing your heroes, and there's a really good, it's like 3.5 minutes trailer, which we'll embed on the Nintendo Twitter. Interestingly, I don't think I've seen this on a mobile game in a long time, but the game's designed to be played like in portrait. Like all the video is in portrait and designed to be watched on your phone. It's kind of got like the sort of GBA stylings, I guess, to the characters. It's still like the same Fire Emblem you kind of know and love, like tile movement. It looks like there's characters kind of from all around the series. So yeah, this should be really good. I don't know. Maybe I'm being thick. I don't know if they said anything about the price.
That is quite an
let's have a
important
look.
piece of information to miss out.
Yeah, data charges may have. Oh, it's free to play, but optional in-app purchases are available. So yeah, it comes out 2nd of January. So I'm really excited for that. I love Fire Emblem. I've talked about a lot on this podcast. I mean, the one that came out last year, Birthright and Conquest. I played a lot of, and I put them on my games of the year. And I think on mobile it's going to be really good. So yes, we shall see.
You're a big fan of Fire Emblem, aren't you? You do like
Yeah, I do. That's very much my style of the game that I enjoy a lot. Is that kind of top-down 2D strategy. Same with Final Fantasy Tactics. It's that sort of vibe that I adore. So,
awesome.
So yeah, that's good.
Very exciting. Very good. Right. So let's move on to some proper news then. So I've got a few bits of news to go through. Let's start. Well, actually, let's kick off with the new addition to our family. So the youngling of our family, the Nintendo Switch. So Chris, tell me what's going on in the world of Switch.
Well, Nintendo have announced some specifications, which you can now read online. Obviously, a lot of people have been worried about whether this will kind of have the power of the PS4 or the Xbox One. I'm not too techie. From what I can work out, it's maybe not as strong as those consoles, but it is still a significant leap up from the Wii U. Although, do feel free to kind of get in touch, because the thing is, they've not actually. People have kind of had to work out a lot, like some of the specs. So some of them are, they give on the website, so they will tell you like the CPU, for example, is an NVIDIA customized Tegra processor, but like they're still being a little bit shaky with what information they give out. It's not as much as you might want here, really. So they don't tell you about like processing and things like that. They kind of are being a bit vague. I don't know if they're being vague, or I don't know if it's just because they maybe assume that it's not as interesting as people think. Because actually, people lap this shit up. But also, if you've not had a chance to try a Nintendo Switch yet, there's some really good like diagrams. You can see kind of how everything's structured. They really break all the controllers down as well into sort of their size and their weight and how it's all going to connect and things. Bluetooth 3.0, which is interesting. So yeah, if you're a fan of your Nintendo Switch and you want to know a bit more about it, then you can go on nintendo.co.uk, find the specs there, or we'll link them here on heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com. There's also a nice list there of all the upcoming games and some release dates as well. Obviously, a lot of them are TBD or 2017, but there's details on games and stuff. So it's good. It's a nice little website actually. Nintendo do like I find with PlayStation, if you want information on a game, it's basically you just have to hope they've written something on the blog. Whereas this is quite a handy little website. So do check this out if you've got a spare kind of quarter of an hour. There's some interesting information on here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and you're right. It's very detailed, isn't it? It's a lot of information here. And like looking down here, I mean, I think we mentioned this a few weeks ago, but the whole amiibo functionality with one of the Joy-Con controllers is really cool. Like how you can put the amiibo over the joystick on the right one, on the right Joy-Con, and that registers it in the game. I think that's really, really cool. That the more I see it, the more it just looks so pretty. The Nintendo, I really want one, but then. Then I remember how many games are coming out, and then I think I don't want one yet. There's no point. So yeah,
take time. You don't need to get one, right? Like people rush to get things first, and I get it if if you want to play it now, but there's no rush, is there? Like, and there will be stock somehow. There'll be stock.
Yeah, I remember there was an article last week I saw where the Pro controller had already sold out on Amazon. I think it was on pre-orders.
Wow,
something like that.
Maybe it won't be stock then.
I'm really looking. I think when Mario Kart 8 comes out, do you reckon that would be a time to the deluxe game. Do you reckon that'd be a
Well,
time to get it?
I think that's coming early summer, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's up to you, mate. I'm not going to push you.
Oh,
I think
please, Chris.
to be honest, I might wait for a price drop, but we'll see.
So you're waiting like 2 years then. Well, yeah, that's quite a handy website, yeah. And it really, if you're interested and want more information, then definitely check it out. Definitely check that out. Marvelous. Right, was there anything else? Oh, there's something else here for Nintendo Switch. What's this? What is this? What is it?
This is just a little bit of news, Colin. Just a little bit of news that there's now there's a nice new trailer for Mario Kart 8, which you can watch on our website, released by Nintendo. It just gives a little bit more kind of context to some of the things that are going on. It shows you off sort of some of the updated courses and characters. It's only 30 seconds, but it's the whole point is it's a trail for like play anytime, anywhere. And I thought you'd like it because the start is you see a guy taking a shit whilst playing Mario Kart.
Right. No, I'm on it. So I'm clicking the link.
You get quite an intimate view, like a top down of this dude just playing.
Oh my god!
Nintendo Switch, smiling to himself.
They're only just about hiding the bits.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gives you a nice kind of demonstration of how to play and hopefully how it's going to work and all the different controllers and stuff. You've got people playing it in class, which is quite funny.
Probably the best thing.
No, not at all. But yeah, it's just a nice little trailer, isn't it? Just shows off a little bit more about how it's going to work.
Oh, it looks so nice. Oh, imagine if like there was like a classroom or a workplace that had them all and you just link together and play Mario Kart. That'd be great. I'd enjoy that. That's really cool. So yeah, we're getting ever nearer. Almost only a month away until the release, 3rd of March, isn't it? So
I know it's mad how quickly it's come about, isn't it?
It is. It's crazy. Right. So that's exciting. So thank you, Nintendo Switch. We appreciate your help there. So I'm going to quickly go through some PlayStation Vita news this week. So as you know, I've been playing a game called Xenoraid, which is also from our boys at 10 Tons Ltd. And they tweeted last week some good news, some interesting news, actually, I thought, regarding the sales figures for Xenoraid, which is the shoot 'em up space exploration game. So they tweeted saying, we're not sure how many good PlayStation Vita Xenoraid reviews this one makes it, but we're happy to see them. So someone's tweeted them a review of the game. It's got positive reviews again, just like I gave positive reviews. But then at the end of this tweet, they say sales surprisingly close to PS4 too. So shows that the PlayStation Vita is still selling quite a lot. Obviously, we don't know how many it's sold on PS4, but the fact it's close is very interesting, actually. Whether this shows that 10 tons games are preferably played on a handheld device, or whether it's just sold really well, you don't know. But I thought it was very interesting and good news, actually, because I like 10 tons. They make some really good games, and they seem like a hardworking bunch of people. So yeah, it's good to know that it's selling well on Vita, and I just wanted to bring that up. And if you haven't played Xenoraid yet, I'll definitely recommend it because it's very addictive, very challenging, and very, very fun. Right, Chris, I know you've just done a load of news on Nintendo Switch, but have you got any news to tell me on the 3DS side of things?
Yeah, I've got a little bit. There's some new titles for the Nintendo Select store. If you're in America, they announced a couple of days ago that Kirby Triple Deluxe and Mario and Luigi Dream Team will be coming to Nintendo Selects, which is this thing where basically the games kind of get musical and it brings the price down a bit. And the idea is it's kind of like the seal of approval. It's a sort of, these games are really good. We're going to make them a little bit cheaper and very widely available so you can get your hands on them. Other titles in this include Animal Crossing New Leaf, Ocarina of Time 3D, that sort of thing, Nintendogs. So it's going to be discounted to $20, and that's a permanent discount as well. So I just thought I should say that because people will want to play these games, and it's good that Nintendo are continuing the Nintendo Select thing, right? Even though the Switch is on the horizon, it's just good for them to be doing that. So that's cool. Also worth saying on kind of a Pokemon sort of vibe is that Cerebi, which is Cerebi.net. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, Colin, but it is one of, if not the best Pokemon websites on the internet. There's just so much information there. It's kind of like a Wikipedia sort of construction, only it's got so much detail, and it's a really great website. And they're reporting that about 6,000 people have been banned from playing Pokemon online, supposedly because of illegal sets on the Pokemon. So if you're cheating, you're going to get banned if you don't play by the rules. And it's sort of movesets and things like that. So just worth a warning, really, isn't it?
Why can't we all just play fair, Chris? Hey? You
Because
know,
people like winning, don't they? And people like cheating to win and winning to cheat and winning. Hey.
winning. I'm winning.
Um,
Duh.
Also wanted to say that if you're in the States, and you remember last week we spoke about that new 3DS, which has got Pikachu branding on it. It's called the Yellow Edition. It's
Yes.
really cute. If you're in the States, there's currently a load of bundles up on the GameStop website. So if you do want to order it, $212.99 Nintendo New 3DS XL. It's the Pokemon Pikachu Yellow Edition. So if you want to get on it, we'll put a link up. I mean, this will probably sell out. So act fast if you're happy buying from GameStop. I know they're kind of not everyone likes them in the States, but if you want to get your stuff, that might be the place to go. Do you want me to finish off? I've got some more little bits if you're keen.
Just fucking finish me off, yeah?
Oh yeah, okay. Monster Hunter, which I adore. I have always loved Monster Hunter.
Really? You've never mentioned it. Tell me more about it.
One of my favorite things about Monster Hunter is their wacky collaborations that they do. Because it's owned by Capcom, they will team up and make DLC that's about kind of quite odd things. Like we've had Metroid DLC before, we've had Mega Man DLC. There's loads. Capcom have just announced that, and annoyingly it's in Japanese, so I don't have too much information on it, but there's a really great trailer where you can see some Monster Hunter Sailor Moon DLC that's coming out. And I know people fucking love Sailor Moon, so do watch this if you're keen. I don't know any of the characters. I kind of recognize them a bit, but we'll put a little trailer up. It's the 25th anniversary of Sailor Moon, apparently, so do watch that if you're so inclined.
Sailor Moon.
Yes, that's kind of it. Actually, that's all my stuff.
That's a lot. That is your stuff, Christopher.
Much like a tiny onion, that is shallots.
Can I just? Very nice, very nice. I actually thought I put quite a funny pun of sorts in the name of, because when we do the show on YouTube, which we're doing right now, and we extract the audio, I have to think of a name of the episode, and I thought the name of this week's episode was actually quite funny. Did you like it? Did you like it?
I haven't seen
you
it.
can see it as well. You're in the chat. You can see it.
Or
maybe not the whole thing, actually.
Blow the Oceanhorn.
No, well, yeah, that bit's funny as well.
I can't. Well, yeah, it's hilarious, but I can't see the rest.
It's Blow the Oceanhorn, Switch Specs, and Pokemon Duel. You really want to hurt me?
Oh, that's good. Duel, you really want to hurt me?
It's funny because it's also a song, and it's also something we've spoken about. That's the joke. Do you get it?
No, that's great. That's really bloody great.
Can I also say, going off topic a bit, the big reveal, I'm doing this in my speech mark here. The big reveal in Arkham Knight has been made in my playthrough. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that. Wow. Yeah. I'm still liking it, but oh boy. Imagine. It's just such a build up, and it was just like, oh, hey then. Oh, you're not evil anymore. Anyway, so I was disappointed by that. But I'm still loving Batman, but the big reveal was disappointing. Right, so I've got two more bits of news I want to quickly go through. Firstly, Minecraft. So everyone loves Minecraft. It sells like hotcakes on whatever platform it's on. We've had another update come to the PlayStation Vita version and probably loads of other versions as well. So this came on the 27th of January, which was 3 days ago. And there's loads and loads of different fixes here. But the most exciting and the most interesting part is that the ability to transfer saves between the Vita and PlayStation 3 version has been fixed, apparently. Apparently it wasn't working, so now you can actually do that. So if you save on PS3, you can bring it over to Vita and continue playing, which is very, very exciting. There's also loads of trophies that are announced for different survival modes and the tumble modes. So the little mini games they have in there now. They fixed some lighting issues. They fixed some drop rate of gold nuggets, zombie pigments not dropping. Loads of fixes here all across the board. But as I said, the most exciting part is the fact that you can now play on your PS3 and send it to your Vita and keep on playing, which is very, very cool.
Is that PS4 as well?
I think it's just PS3 from what this article is telling me. I'll have to do some more research.
That seems a bit weird.
Seems easier to do it for PS3 than PS4, maybe. But yeah, that was interesting, this update. Loads of other, as I said... Unless
it was already working for PS4, or maybe they've had to...
As far as I'm aware, they've just fixed it, because apparently it always was a thing, but now it just stopped working, but the update has fixed it. It's good to see that they're still giving updates to the Vita version of the game, which shows that it's a... I know obviously it's a similar build to other versions of it, but it obviously shows that it is still very popular on PlayStation Vita. I mean, when you look at sales charts across the world, PlayStation Vita's version of Minecraft is in there quite a lot. So that's good to see.
It always does well.
Right, so another thing I want to talk about is Oceanhorn. I mentioned this a couple of probably months ago now on the podcast. So Oceanhorn coming to PlayStation Vita. The full name is Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas, which is an action-adventure video game by Cornfox Bros, and it focuses on a boy's quest to find his lost father and defeat the sea monster. So very cool art style, very bright and colourful oceans and ships and things like that. Fantastic reviews across the board, pretty much, looking at them here. But it was announced it was coming to PlayStation Vita a couple of months ago. Recently, we had PAX South. I believe that's already happened. Is that how it already happened? PAX South.
I think it's happening at the moment.
Happening at the moment, yeah. So we had some news last week, 27th to the 29th. So it's just finished in San Antonio, Texas. So PAX South happened, and a full working version of Oceanhorn on Vita was showcased. And there's some footage online. It looks really, really nice. I'm loving the art. It's just so bright and colorful and just looks really nice. We will put this tweet in the article for this week's podcast. So a guy called Roberto, his actual name is Roberto at PAX South, who recorded this. It's just filmed on a phone, but you still get an idea of how it looks on Vita. It looks very nice. Seems to be running quite smoothly as well.
It looks kind of like Wind Waker.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, actually. I just like how bright and it just looks like a nice game. Obviously the boy's father's missing, but it looks like a nice game nonetheless. So we look forward to that and getting more details of pricing or whatever for PlayStation Vita. So very, very interesting there. And that is your lot for Vita news this week. It's not much, but them's your apples. That's them. Take it how you will.
That famous phrase, them's your apples.
Yes, I honestly. Someone just made that. Do you know what my favorite saying is?
Go on.
I've had it with your ingenuous accusations. That's my favorite.
Yeah, you love that, don't you? You love that almost enough that if so... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
I probably wouldn't. Chris, so what are we doing? You need to play Pokemon Duel this week.
No, I've just clicked on my phone. And I've just checked. I do have it downloaded. So I'm going to, once this podcast's done, I'm going to start downloading it. And I'm going to wipe the floor with you.
Do it. You have to download shit and you have to go through a crappy little story bit at the beginning. But it's worth it, Chris, because it's fun. It's very fun. So that's what he's going to be doing. And why don't you play it as well, dear listeners? Why don't you go and download Pokemon Duel? It's free on Android. I think Android, but it's definitely on iOS. And you can download it and you can play us and you can show how terrible me and Chris are at video games by smashing us, probably. But that is it for this week's podcast. Thank you for listening to episode 167 of Heroes of Handheld. Don't forget, if you want to enter our competition to win a copy of Neon Chrome for PlayStation Vita, all you need to do is email us your favorite Mass Effect quote, any quote you want.
And yeah, give it a little Heroes of Handheld spin,
Yeah, that would get you extra brownie points, You put some Heroes of Handheld reference in there. So, can I go to bed now? And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only quote we've got, isn't it?
Something about rat tails.
Oh God, rat tails. That is for the long-term listeners, that is.
Delicious rat tails.
Yummy. Go back and listen to episode 75, probably. Or how about hashtag JRPG fun? What was it? What was that one we did? JRPG thumbs up of the week.
JRPG thumbs up. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's one of the original ones. So email us with that, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. You can tweet us at Handheld Podcast. Find us on iTunes, on Stitcher, wherever good podcasts are generated. You can find us there. Is there anything else you want to say, Chris?
Only that I hope everyone has a really good week. And when everything's a bit shit outside, just remember how much fun you can have inside listening to us and playing Heroes of Handheld.
True words were never spoken, people.
Yeah, but don't. I mean, obviously, if it's a hard time politically and socially, but that doesn't mean that your old pal, the 3DS, isn't there anymore. So if you're just getting a bit overwhelmed with it all, it's totally okay to just sit down and whap out some Metroid.
Indeed. Powerful words there from a powerful.
No, I'm a fucking poet, aren't I?
You didn't
I am the John Cooper Clarke of the 21st century.
And on that note, see you next week, everybody. Goodbye.